You find an island there, so lovely small, with nations free, with people French and Dutch, though talking English much, as the St. Martin in the sea. Oh, sweet St. Martin's land, of mountains green, variously in sunlight sheen. Oh, I love that paradise, nature's beauty fairly nice. Oh, I love that paradise, nature's beauty fairly nice. Saint Martin, I love thy name, in which Columbus' fame and memories of old are close. For me a great delight, thy Southern Cross the night. May God the Lord protect thy coast. Oh, sweet St. Martin's land, so bright by beach and strand, with sailors on the sea and harbors free, where the chains of mountains green, variously in sunlight sheen. Oh, I love that paradise, nature's beauty fairly nice. Oh, I love thy paradise, nature's beauty fairly nice.
Good morning. My name is Giselle York, and thank you for joining the Department of Communications live broadcast of the arrival of the royal family to St. Martin. We are here at the Princess Juliana International Airport, where just in about a little over 10 minutes, the airplane carrying the royal family as well as the State Secretary of Kingdom Relations will touch down. The royal delegation includes His Majesty King Willem Alexander, Her Majesty Queen Maxima, Her Royal Highness Katerina Amalia, Princess of Orania. The royal family is also accompanied by the State Secretary for Kingdom Relations and Digitization, Alexandra Huffleton. The location that we're at is abuzz with activity as several members of the armed forces, members of the press, as well as the National Organizing Committee are all standing, waiting at attention, waiting for the arrival of this aircraft from Curacao. We're told that the aircraft, which was originally scheduled to land at 10 a.m., is running approximately 15 minutes early. So very soon we expect to be given the signal that the aircraft is on its way. Once the aircraft lands, they will be welcomed by the official welcoming committee, which will include His Excellency, Governor Ajamo Bailey and Mrs. Bailey, the Honorable Prime Minister, Ms. Sylvia Jacobs, Princess Juliana International Airport CEO, Mr. Brian Mingo, and they will also be greeted by Flower Boy Malik Morrison and Flower Girl Rosalia Lake. As I mentioned before, greeting the royal family are members of the Marines, the Marechaussee, the police, the VKS, and the youth brigade. The last visit of His Majesty the King and Her Majesty the Queen was in late November 2017 as a show of support for the islands following the catastrophic 2017 hurricane season. This is the first visit of the princess to St. Martin, who will one day succeed her father as queen. Upon the arrival of His Majesty, the royal Upon the arrival of His Majesty the King, the royal flag at the Governor's Cabinet in Philipsburg will be raised. The royal family is currently on day 11 of a 14-day visit to the Dutch Caribbean islands. Prior to St. Martin, the royal family visited the islands of Bonaire, Aruba, and Curacao. They will spend 2 days in St. Martin and then travel onwards to St. Eustatius and Saba before returning to the Netherlands. The visit is intended to introduce Her Royal Highness Caterina Amalia, the Princess of Oranje, to the Caribbean part of the Netherlands. Members of our armed forces as well as our voluntary corps are now lining up. As mentioned, we have the Marines, the Marechaussee, the police, the VKS, and the Youth Brigade. They're all now in formation, awaiting the arrival of the plane with the royal family. Also on the tarmac are members of both the local media and the Dutch media that has traveled along with the royal family on their visits to these islands. The royal aircraft has just touched down, and we are awaiting its taxi up to the runway. The red carpet has been laid out for the arrival of the royal family and the state secretary. And in just one moment, the official welcoming committee will make their way onto the tarmac. Making their way now onto the tarmac is the welcoming committee, which includes His Excellency Governor Ajamu Bailey and his wife, Mrs. Bailey, the Honorable Prime Minister of St. Martin, Sylvaria Jacobs, Airport CEO, Mr. Brian Mingo, as well as the President of the Holding Board. Also following is the Chairlady of the National Organizing Committee, as well as our flower girl, Rosalia Lake, and our flower boy, Malik Morrison, who will present bouquets of welcome flowers to the Queen and the Princess upon their arrival. The aircraft is still taxiing, and momentarily the doors will open and the royal family will make their way onto the tarmac and be in St. Martin. As mentioned, this is day 11 of the 14-day visit to the Dutch Caribbean Netherlands, and this tour serves as an introduction of the princess to the Dutch Caribbean islands. The royal red carpet has been laid down, and as the plane powers down, the staircase is moving forward. On the tarmac, there is an air of anticipation as all eagerly await for the doors to open and His Majesty King Willem Alexander, Her Majesty. His Excellency Governor Ajamu Bailey, Mrs. Bailey, aide de camp to the governor, Franz Haters, Prime Minister Silveria Jacobs, and Airport CEO Mark Mingo all make their way to the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, His Majesty King Willem Alexander, Queen Maxima, Her Majesty Queen Maxima, and the Royal Highness Katerina Amalia, as well as the State Secretary for Kingdom Relations and Digitization Alexandra Huffington, all exit the plane and are greeted by the members of the Welcome Committee. Her Majesty is handed a bouquet of flowers from our flower boy, Malik Morrison. And Princess Amalia is given her bouquet of flowers by Rosalia Lake. The delegation is now making their way past our armed forces. Leading the delegation, His Excellency Governor Jamu Bailey and His Majesty King Willem Alexander. The delegation will now enter the airport, where they will be given a 45-minute tour of the airport terminal reconstruction project, where an elucidation on the overall projects, its timelines, and ultimate vision will be presented by the project management unit. After that follows 2 days of various engagements around the island, including a youth cultural and business manifestation on the Phillipsburg Boardwalk. This will be guided by the head of our culture department, Mrs. Clara Reyes, and it takes place on the Phillipsburg Boardwalk this afternoon at 4 p.m.
Certificat, meneer.
Once again, the Department of Communications invites members of the public to tune in to our live stream again at 5:20, this afternoon, as we bring you the live broadcast of the Culture and Business Manifestation on the Phillipsburg Boardwalk. We also invite those of you that are able to make it in person down to Phillipsburg for an opportunity to interact with the royal family as they start their journey through Phillipsburg at 3:30 p.m. On behalf of the Department of Communications, my name is Giselle York, and we thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you along these next 2 days for the visit of King Willem Alexander and the royal family. Have a good rest of the morning.